So what we're going to look at today is called the Klickety Click Clicker. So for those of you who haven't heard about this before, basically when you purchase it, it comes in a little bag like so, and it's a clicker designed for your Barebow recurves or recurves where you're not going to use a conventional style clicker. So the way it'll mount is actually like this onto the back of your limb. So you'll see here, there's like a little a metal clip just in the front of that package there, which I've actually mounted to the back of my limb. So it comes with a little like double-sided tape to stick onto the back of your bow. And then I've used some camo tape as well to secure it, because this bow is going to be going around the bush a little bit and it needs to kind of be a bit more rugged. But if you're just shooting target stuff, the tape it comes with will be enough. So what it essentially does is acts just like a conventional clicker. So you see as I pull this back, you hear that click? So that's telling me I've reached the right draw length. Exactly the same as on a freestyle recurve, where there'd be a clicker mounted on the riser, somewhere around here, and you have to pull your arrow back through it. When that may not be practical is with a bow like this. So if you've got a hunting bow and you've got a broadhead sitting here or a kind of small game point, that's obviously not going to be able to be pulled back past the clicker. It's just going to rip your clicker in half. So this is practical in a hunting sense, but also for an archer shooting, recurve barebow or longbow, where traditionally they're going to have quite a long arrow, because if you're using the point of your arrow to aim, obviously the longer that is, the easier it's going to be to aim with that arrow. So a riser mounted clicker might actually not be long enough to compensate for your arrow length. And if you're a longbow archer, where you essentially have got a stick of wood, that's about it, you're obviously not going to have the threads or the bushing in the riser to be able to utilize this. So this is a really, really good tool, both for bow hunters shooting recurve style and also for target archers shooting recurve barebow or longbow, because this will really, really help fine tune your draw length. So when you're shooting and you're getting tired, it's something that recurve and compound archers are aware of, because recurve archers will struggle to get through the clicker. Compound archers will kind of have these little ones where they come off the valley when they're losing pressure. Longbow and barebow recurve, you'll probably just see your arrows dropping on the target. This is really useful at the end of a session. So if you're shooting one of those barebow styles and you've shot 50, 60 arrows or whatever your usual training day is, and you get to the end and you're feeling a little bit tired, you can stick this back on the bow, set to your normal draw length, and kind of get a bit of a check to make sure that everything is how it should be and you're still pulling back the correct length. So it's really, really good as a training tool for recurve barebow or longbow. Obviously you couldn't use this in competition, but it's something where there's not a lot of tools you have at your disposal, say for instance compared to like a compound where you've got shot trainers and all this other stuff. This is a really, really useful tool to be using in those barebow disciplines. It's also essentially got a micro adjust as well. So once we've glued it onto the back of the bow or just stuck it on with the tape, we're actually going to thread this bit of string here in through the string. So you just pop your string off, separate the strands, push it through and tie it in a knot. I've actually set it just above my string silencer here, so it's locked in place. Some people actually replace this with D-loop cord. I haven't found an issue with the cord it comes with, but you could obviously swap it out if you wanted something different. And then you'll see here, there's a little kind of chain that's mounted to that string that actually gives you micro adjusts. So these little balls in here, you can just pull it through this clip and move it along one kind of chain length at a time, which will give you very, very fine adjustment. Same kind of thing as micro adjusting the clicker on the riser for recurve. So it's a really, really cool thing. They retail for $35 for the clicker, which is the same kind of price you'd be looking at, a recurve with a wing clicker or a biter clicker or something like that. I think it's a very useful tool for the barebow recurve archers and longbow archers out there. And also if you're a bow hunter shooting with a longbow or recurve barebow style like this, especially if you struggle with target panic, which is something I really struggle with. And I find having this on my bow means that when I am in a hunting situation and I'm feeling a little bit nervous or kind of worried about taking the shot, where normally I'd be okay shooting target, but the anticipation creeps in, having the confidence to know I have this clicker and I have this draw check there makes it feel kind of like I'm shooting the freestyle recurve. So that's the Klickety Click Clicker. I encourage you all to give it a go, and it's available at elizaarchery.com.